Welcome to the Better Business Beat, your go-to source for insights, stories, and conversations that matter to our community. I'm your host, Michele Mills, and each week we explore topics which impact the way we live, work, and do business here in East Texas. From smart consumer tips and local success stories to practical advice for navigating today's challenges, we are here to keep you informed, empowered, and connected. So, whether you're a consumer, a business owner, or just someone who loves to support local organizations, this show is your front row seat to the people, trends, and ideas shaping our region. Today on the Better Business Beat, we are excited to welcome Dr. Alonso Osorio-Giraldo, board-certified physician and the owner and medical director of Gameday Men's Health here in Tyler, Texas, where he leads a team that is dedicated to advancing men's health through hormone optimization, performance medicine, weight management, sexual wellness, and regenerative therapies tailored to each individual. With more than 2 decades of clinical experience in both family medicine and emergency medicine, he has cared for patients in fast-paced ER environments and preventative care settings, giving him a unique perspective on holistic health. He provides empathy and global perspective to his work, emphasizing personalized care that addresses root causes rather than just symptoms. That's important. Under his leadership, Gameday Men's Health creates a comfortable, approachable environment where men can take proactive steps toward lasting health. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Ms. Mills, first of all, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm super excited to be here. That was a phenomenal introduction. And it's not only me, it's also my wife, Andrea
Yes.
Nicole. She's been fundamental in putting this together. I wouldn't be here without her, so I want to start with crediting her for helping me with that.
I love it. I love it. And I love Andrea too. She's amazing. So I love that, we know each other personally. We go to the same tennis club together. And I love that you're from Colombia because my former praise team leader, he was from Colombia too. He was from
Bucaramanga, that's where I'm from.
Bucaramanga. So, are you were too?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So there, y'all are from the same area. So I love that. So I love knowing you personally, but professionally, I don't know a whole lot. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Do it.
Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to become a physician and how your journey led you to open Gameday Men's Health here in Tyler, Texas.
Early on during high school and middle school, I realized that I had a communication skills and I had a soft spot in my heart for the people in need. And later during my vocational choices in high school, I was given the chance to go and serve areas of poverty and need in my town. And seeing people dying from starvation, using a latrine for body needs, and little kids with their appendages eaten because of the rats and the poor living conditions, no energy, no water, no power. I said, I have too much. I've been given a lot. It's probably time for me to give that. So I thought maybe doing international politics, being a politician, economics, international type of influence, probably help the poor people. And then, the whole athlete career part of me, being one of the top athletes in the nation, gave me the opportunity through tennis to access any degree that I could wanted to have. Obviously, I had great scores on my American version of the Colombian version of the MCAT. So I decided to choose medicine because for the politics degree, I would have the need to be in Bogota, the capital, and Bucaramanga, my town, seemed to be the public health, the cheaper choice for us. So I just stay local. So it's been a long way, it's been 25 years in practice, but always that it was a childhood dream that became true. And now I feel mature enough, to tell you that I think I made the right choice. It's been a long but happy journey.
Awesome. How did you end up here in Tyler?
Well, it's a long story, but
Oh.
the summary is that one of the local healthcare systems here was in need for experienced physicians to open one of the a fantastic emergency room. So obviously you understand with volume and size comes experience. So
Yes.
we could have gone back to San Antonio where I started my emergency medicine career, but Tyler sounded like a very attractive town, especially the education, the small town feeling, getting to know everybody. Everybody knows everybody. The reputation is huge. The kids are safe. Crime rate is low. Everything just appealed the right, like to be the right location for us. And the southern hospitality, you cannot trade that for anything. And now that we have set a shop and a brick and mortar business, we're committed to the community, so we're not going anywhere.
We're so grateful to have you here in our community. You guys are amazing. So, someone who's practiced medicine for over 2 decades, what kind of trends are you seeing? What have you noticed most?
What has been really sad is having seen that big corporations and healthcare being owned by large corporations and taking the physician out of the equation. I mean, the decision capacity of a physician has been taken by a larger corporation. You are told what to do, how fast to go, how many patients to see, and they put a relative value unit behind the productivity. And if you don't see more or do more, that gets attached to reimbursement. At the same time, you get the government pressure for customer satisfaction. At the same, you get policies, procedures, and you end up completely covered by tasks that are impossible to be accomplished. So when the physician loses the autonomy, the decision capacity to actually be more human and treat the patient and bypass all this nonsense, is when the physician is happy. But that's part of the game. That was part of the game, making the physicians realize that they shouldn't rule the healthcare. And when healthcare was made for profit, for cutting, opening, and doing stuff on the ill people, is when the system broke down. And I've seen it over the 25 years that I've been here in America, the rapid decline and the loss of autonomy. We lost it all.
And that's the reason you become a doctor, to care for people, and it does in some cases seem like it's assembly line, and when people put profit over when you put profit over people, then long term, I think it's gonna be very difficult on it's giving, I think it's giving medicine a little bit of a bad rap right now, because I heard a lot of people say they kind of feel like a number.
I felt it. I felt it in emergency medicine in the last years of practice, especially after COVID. We lost credibility. Nobody believed in us. They knew that something bigger, darker was happening in the background, and I was insulted, mistreated, abused, and then you're just suffering inside. And
Yeah.
it's never too late to realize that there was a better way to help people, not like a break and fix.
Yep.
It's more like, what can we do to keep you healthy so you don't have to go for a new knee, for a new hip, for a new spine, for a new heart, or a stent, or this or that. So I think I realized later in life that there was a better way.
Awesome. So, kind of on that note, what makes Gameday Men's Health different from traditional medical clinics?
Gameday, so you guys know, is my practice here in Tyler. We are 450 locations across the United States. We are one of those. We own the territory of East Texas. We are to open another location in Longview. I have another location coming up in Bryan College Station. But here, this is our mothership, where me, my wife, and my 3 medical assistants run a very tight ship. We're a fun place to come. It doesn't look like any doctor's clinic. It is locally owned, locally operated. I belong to the International Medical Advisory Board, part of the 15 physicians at the top that set the guidelines and the trends and the guidelines on how to provide care across all the offices. I happen to be lucky here in Tyler. So what makes the difference between any other practice is that we're a physicially owned, operated. The guys get to see a medical doctor behind the desk. And as we're growing, patients really appreciate my input. And we don't work with insurance. We don't want them in that relationship. It's because they tell me that I need to see 250 a day to meet the quota, or do this or don't do that. I don't want to deal with that. So we decided to find a way to do things. I could have gone on my own, but Gameday is such a phenomenal institution as a whole. And we have just a huge corporate support from the top all the way down. And the culture is so amazing that we only want to make the regular guy, your husband, your son, your father, that guy be a better father, a better son, a better grandfather, give them the energy, the health, so they can actually go back to their communities and provide and be who they were supposed to be, not to be the ill, tired, forgotten man that is useless.
So, tell us a little bit about some of the most common issues that men come to you for, and how can you help them, and maybe some things that they're not that you would like more awareness about too.
That's a great question. Obviously, there is big realms of concerns, and I try to pinpoint what is the biggest goal of they want to achieve. But the most common comment is, "Hey, Dr. O, I just feel that I reach a plateau. For the last year, I feel not like myself. I feel depressed. I'm putting weight on the waistline. I don't sleep good. My doctor tell me I'm just depressed. There has to be something wrong. It doesn't matter what I eat or how do I try to do things. It's not working well. And obviously, one of the most intimate parts of the conversation that no physician or urologist has time to speak about is what happens behind closed doors in the bedroom. So that's probably 40% of my talks. And we spend a lot of time to understand the background of the intimacy issue and be very, very careful about how we address that. Obviously, we guys, when we were younger, we were talking about our private life, sometimes with other male peers openly. And into their 40s, 50s, and 60s becomes taboo or something that men just suffer deeply inside. And the truth is, they become sexless, subjugated, forgotten men that just feel less because they cannot achieve the results that they wanted in the bedroom that they used to have. And something's missing. So my job is just try to find what's missing, revive the spark, and try to see if I can help them with many little secrets on maximizing and optimizing every little aspect that will make them healthy. So it could be a myriad of things, but those are the most important things. It-
Like you said, really hard to talk about, and men in general, you know, they delay going to the doctor,
Oh, yeah.
and so they don't talk about it. So, and they don't talk about these issues, and so, becoming educated and letting them know that this is available and it's a safe place,
To
and it
s-
works.
to say it in a different way, my guys are showing up when the gasoline tank is already empty and the engine light went off. Sometimes they're waiting for the engine light to go off to the car to start to sputter and stop on the side of the road before they take action. I would say, we say around Gameday in our community, every man deserves to get to know their name, their numbers. It's not and we're talking testosterone, but it's not only testosterone. We do many other things, but yes, you're correct. Try to just kind of see, everybody's different, but we try to tailor that to each guy.
So how does the process work? What's your approach? What take somebody that comes in, and then what do you do to kind of get them to where they need to be?
Super easy. I don't turn anyone away. All my walk-ins, I try to squeeze them in and get them seen. But
Nice.
the best way is you go to our website, gamedaymenshealth.com /, Tyler-Texas, or just gamedaymenshealth.com. You find your location right there based on the zip code. You communicate through this the funnel. My wife, it will give you the choice to book an appointment. My wife will call you, confirm the appointment, kind of go over some basic questions, make sure you guys understand that we don't work with insurance practices, with insurance, and that we're the right place for your goals. So once we come to the office, it's wonderful. We send you all the forms electronically. You complete those at home, and it's an easy process. Quick check-in. I already have looked at your information in advance. You sign your treatment consents, and we'll just get you rolling. We welcome you with a smile. We greet you in a different place. It's not a packed place with a bunch of sick people. All my guys don't look like a gym bro. It's the normal blue-collar worker. My hardworking oil and gas peeps, my construction workers, is not the gym bro. You don't see those guys at Gameday. We just take care of normal people, the normal you and I.
But gym bros can come to you, I mean, for different reasons, right?
Yeah, they just do things. They
Gym
do
bros.
things very, very different. I mean, the gym bros. I mean, the ones that misuse therapies for other
okay.
purposes.
Okay.
So the gym rat that loves to stay healthy, those are welcome.
Yes, I was going to say,
so
because there are therapeutic benefits to some of the things that you do if you're like, I mean, performance athletes and things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When things are managed properly, medically supervised, you don't buy them from internet. Just figure it out with X, Y, or Z online advice. When you do things the right way, properly sourced, purity, the right compounded medications, things are safe. And I will never turn you into a Schwarzenegger, my guys, just to optimize you, make you healthy. And we'll talk about those things in a few more minutes on the details on that. But
So tell us about some of the therapies that you offer and how they benefit your long-term wellness.
So Gameday, we focus in a very few things, 4 core services, but we do them well.
Okay.
I'm not an endocrinologist. I'm a family physician with 25 years of experience. we do hormonal health and testosterone optimization therapy like no one. There's nothing too complex, but it has to be done right. So testosterone is number one. Medical weight loss, with all the teaching and education that it requires to lose weight. Vitamin therapy, and the very new kind of realm of interventions that is called peptide therapy, that are these little amino acids molecules that we use to, like tools in a toolbox to target a specific benefit. And on the side, we do a lot of sexual enhancement, sexual health, sexual dysfunction, and actually that's 40% of my business. And we do a lot of musculoskeletal, low intensity sound wave therapy for ED and enhancement and maintenance, and also for injuries to take care of pain, strains, aches, tendonitis, etc. But the four core services are mostly testosterone, vitamins, peptides, and medical weight loss.
Okay, so peptide therapy really trending right now, seeing a lot of videos about it. Can you talk about that and what it is, what maybe some mistakes people are making that are or maybe answer some questions that people who are thinking about it, what they need to know about it.
In a nutshell, a peptide is two or more amino acids, the typical amino acids of the proteins building blocks, up to 49. Those are peptides. 50 or to 100 small protein, and anything over 100 a larger protein. So, through molecular technology, we are able to identify a messenger, a signal, a molecule in your body. In the lab, we splice it, we take it out, we put a couple caps at the end, at each end, so the body doesn't destroy it. We make it in the lab in a sterile environment, free of impurities, and put it back into your body. Peptides are tricky. They're like a fancy car. You need to treat them well, not to shake them too much, not too much sun, not too little sun, not too hot, not too cold, etc. But in general, most of them are injectables. A few percentage of them are taken by mouth. The reason why they don't work by mouth, all of them, is because the stomach juices disintegrate them. But think about the toolbox in your garage. There is a peptide for whatever you want to accomplish. If it's depression, mood, ADHD, gut health, skin, hair, sexual wellness, weight loss, you name it, we have it. So they are, most of them in September of 2023 were put back in a group 2. Remember, the FDA is an institution from the government that does public health regulation. They don't regulate physicians' practice. They set public policies for the community, for the public. And what they noticed is that people were accessing black market and gray market peptide therapy that they say they come from China. I don't know where they come from. Some of these online companies, you cannot find a physical address where these peptides came from, and they're bulk in powder. You don't know how to reconstitute it. So they say, you're buying this for your dog or your pet or for you, but to do research in humans. And they don't tell you the concentration, the volume for dilution. So then you see these poor patients trying to figure out dosing, dilution, concentrations, how to inject, finding protocols online, and they have to kind of scatter the web to figure it out. And these companies make it really clear that they won't help you with the reconstitutions or the calculations. So we don't get into that.
It's so dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous. And that's when the FDA say, we advocate for the public. We think it's good to put them in the group 2, not in the group 3, that is do not use. They all used to be in the group 1. And now through the current government institutions and the MAHA movement, we're trying to create awareness that peptides well done from a reputable, clean practices, sterile compounding pharmacy are safe if used and guided properly. So like everything, one beer, not a problem. 25 beers is a big problem. So we have to be really careful where we source them. And we tell the patients, you probably pay a premium, but you pay a premium for safety and quality.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't think of the idiom that you say. What is it?
You pay for what you get.
You pay for what you get. That was like, is that simple? Yeah. You get what you pay for. There you go.
Good yes. Medicine is not cheap. Cheap medicine is not necessarily good.
Absolutely. So like if somebody has trouble sleeping, do you have peptide therapy for that?
Yeah, there is one of them called Delta sleep-inducing peptide. I love it. All the human growth hormones, secretagogues or squeezers, they're phenomenal. That's actually the first things that you see, phenomenal restoration of your sleep, better delta, better REM, so people feel so rejuvenated in the morning. So those are actually some of the first few benefits that people see.
All
For
right.
women, the skin, their hair,
Oh,
their nails, they feel
hey,
good.
I'm in my 50s now. I need to,
Collagen.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send my husband to you because he's all
Oh,
like,
please.
just he's the past couple of weeks he hasn't been able to sleep. So I'm like, that's not gonna be good for you long term, honey. So, I'm gonna, ladies, you can make an appointment for your husband. It's totally
Oh, yeah.
allowed. So, all right. So, um, testosterone optimization, some of the other therapies that you do, can you go into a little more detail? How do those work? How do they benefit?
So I want to make everybody aware that testosterone for more than 50 years had a bad reputation. There was a lot of misguided studies and science that was put out there for decades, and still to these days, many primary care physicians, nurse practitioners, PAs in the community, even here on East Texas, think that testosterone is linked to cancer of prostate. That has been debunked. They think that testosterone is going to give you a heart attack. The most recent Traverse study has proven that testosterone is neutral or actually positive benefits on cardiovascular health, reverting diabetes, reverting dementia, helping you build up more muscle mass, which we know the benefits of muscle mass, uh, better bone density. So um, testosterone managed properly, we always thought it's an anabolic, it's an steroid. Anabolic means just is growth, development, right? The word anabolic is growth. Catabolic is destruction. So anabolic, as an steroid, it comes from an ester, organic science structure. So it was a misnomer. It was thought for years that athletes use it just for enhancing, cheating, and that bad reputation was all over the place. So finally, about 9 to 10 months ago, with some solid science that primary care physicians don't know. They are stuck with the 30-year-old knowledge that they told you that they needed to cut the testicles of that man to take care of the prostate cancer. We knew that that was wrong. We did that for 2 decades. We mutilated humans thinking that was the treatment, and it was all wrong. So guess what? Now, in some academic institutions across the United States, we use something called bipolar therapy. We treat prostatic cancer actually with humongous dosages of testosterone. So testosterone managed properly, it is amazing. So when you come to see me, don't expect to see your husband with anger, rage, or growing boobs. That's not what we do. Is healthy, is safe, properly managed, properly supervised. It's like an elixir for youth and longevity.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many videos about how to, self-medicate and all that. If you're dealing with your health, please see a professional. I mean, there can be long-term bad side effects if you don't have somebody professionally guiding you through these things.
And I see a lot of that, and I see a lot of that come to please rescue me, doc, help me out.
Yeah.
So
go there in the first place. Don't waste your money. Then you say, you know what I mean? Go in the first place, get professional guidance, and then use that treatment plan. Are there any other misconceptions about men's health that you'd like to educate people about?
yes, it is okay to get old, but you need to get old with quality. Um, it is okay to suffer in silence, but you need to speak up. You need to come. If you feel that you're less of a person because of losing an edge in the bedroom, if it's affecting your marriage, that's probably for me the most rewarding thing. Giving couples their intimacy back. I have literally I have cry over text messages and calls that I get, obviously on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, of the amazing intimate time that people has had over the last 24 hours, because it's a beautiful thing to know that sex and intimacy is a fundamental part of humankind, and we think it's a taboo. Um, Especially, it's been hard to penetrate the market to make understand that sex is healthy. Intimacy within couples is fundamental and essential for connection and wellness and mental and spiritual and bodily and organic health. We need to stop seeing health in the United States as a pill that fixes a problem in a location. Remember, health is a triangle that is your mind, your spirit, your soul, and your body. That's the World Health Organization definition of health. It's a balance. But we think in America that something is broken just here and we just fix that. We need to have an investment from the patient, from their family, from their soul and themselves, and through my help, just to fix that broken balance and see where we can get you.
Absolutely. So, how does Gameday Men's Health support patients beyond just the clinical treatments?
We build relationships. That's number one. Once
Yeah.
you build a relationship with a patient and you get to know their family, their kids, what they do for a living, it's so key. And once you get to know the guy and understand where they come from, you know if the guy can afford the therapy, if the guy can exercise, if the guy can eat well, if the guy can sleep, because everybody's so different. So I do a lot of coaching, and what is funny is in large hospital corporations, they make us take sensitivity about not calling people obese or fat or overweight because they take it personal, and we're not supposed to tell them that. And don't call them fat. Listen, I'm not going to call you fat, but I'm going to tell you the reason why you feel this way and we have this metabolic inflammation is because you have lost balance, and is what you're putting in your body. Everything starts with what you put in your gut, and then you feel bad, and then your testosterone drops, and you don't get enough sleep, and you get outside, you don't get enough sun, and everything falls apart, and it just turns into a big cascade of damage. So one
Ah,
by one.
yes, yes. So you actually care and have relationships with your clients. You have the ability to do that, and coach them and all of that even after the treatment, which is amazing.
There is an ongoing coaching, a personal relationship, and
Yep.
constant communication. Yes,
Yep,
ma'am.
absolutely. So if you could give one tip for long-term wellness, what would it be?
Start taking vitamin D. 99% of my patients are supremely depleted. We're talking a normal range is from 30 to 100. My guys are 20, 19, 12, like non-existent. So get some vitamin D3 with K2. So you put it in your bones. You don't put it in your blood vessels. That's the
Women
best.
too, right?
Oh yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
They should put it in the water instead of fluoride. Probably put D3 in the water.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would be easy. Yeah, they should. Well, I don't know if it'd be. They should. Simple, but not easy. Okay, so if somebody is interested, has questions, and/or wants to make an appointment with you, how can they find you?
It's so easy. We're next to Bernard's, the best restaurant in town, by the way. So if you want to go to Bernard's, just come and say hello to me. Or we're right there, located in the Grande Plaza, behind the Chili's and the all-you-can-eat sushi. Or easy, just go to GamedayMensHealth.com, look for Tyler, Texas, or just call 903-405-2070, and my girls or my wife, Andrea, or my boy, Ethan, will answer the call, and we'll get you in right away.
Awesome. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you, Doc. Thanks for coming.
Awesome.
And we will see you next week. I'm Michele Mills on the Better Business Beat.